let's talk a little bit about 1099 workers versus W-2 employees. And it really is a hot topic because people are so intimidated by this topic, right? It's like, what do I do? What's legal? What's illegal? Am I violating the laws? Would I be in trouble if I were ever audited by the IRS or the Labor Bureau, right? It's a big topic. So let me try to find our live broadcast so I can see any extra comments that are coming through. Turn down the volume so I don't get reverb. All righty, I do see, let me say hello to a few people that their names didn't show up, but I see Charlene is here and Paula is here. Who else? Hey, hi, Amy. Good to see you. Amy Toppins Bellinger. I already said hello to Ricky. Let's see. Jenanaya, great to see you. Can't wait to see you, one of our advanced pros at CBF Live, Jenanaya. Guys, you want to meet her. She is an amazing woman, an incredible businesswoman, and you just want to sit by her and pick her brain. Trust me. She's one of our advanced members and just absolutely a wonderful person to talk to. Amy says, how do you get the discount for the hotel? So once you register, the hotel link is right there after the registration page. Plus, there's emails that have been going out to you if you've registered to remind you to click on our hotel link. And as long as you use our registration link, you get in at the deepest discounted price. Or if you just call the hotel and just tell them you are with CBF Live, they will give you the discounted rate at the Omni Resort. And guys, if you could stay an extra couple of days, you're getting a ridiculous rate. Tack on a couple of boondoggle days. It's a write-off for your business anyway. The hotel is gorgeous. There's a beautiful pool with lounge chairs all the way around. And Dallas has just got incredible shopping, nightlife, bars, wonderful restaurants, steakhouses, sushi, everything you could imagine in Dallas. So make sure you tack on a couple of extra days and treat yourself to a little bit of extra time in Dallas. So let's talk about 1099 versus W-2. And this is the topic we were talking about over in Pipe Hire tonight with Juan Chaparro. And when you have a chance, go and congratulate him. He and his wife just had their third baby girl last night. And I was like, you're on here with me tonight? What a guy. So first of all, I kind of opened up by sharing that the IRS is cracking down on businesses who misclassify their employees as 1099 if they really are W-2 employees. So it's really important that you know the laws and you know the rules and that you are not flying under the radar so that if you ever got audited, you would not lose that battle with the IRS because it can literally cost you thousands of dollars in back taxes and penalties if they decide you are not in compliance with what the IRS classifies as a 1099 independent contractor. So there's three factors, and I noticed it's much stricter than it ever was before. Before there used to be like 21 rules, and if you violated even one of the 21 rules, that was an employee, right? So many people think, well, if I'm 50%, no. If you violated even one of the 21 rules that the IRS classifies as an employee instead of a contractor, you would be in violation. But I've noticed that the rules are longer than the list of 21. They've made it even harder. So there's three factors that the IRS considers when determining if your employees are really W-2 employees and not 1099 contractors. So three factors. First of all, behavior. And then second of all, financial. And then third of all, the type of relationship that you have with them. And so most cleaning companies that use independent contractors, sad to say, are actually in violation of what the IRS would classify as really an independent contractor. I have rarely met a cleaning company that was not in violation, even though they're using 1099 workers. And why do people do this? Why do people take this risk? Well, I look back at my own business over 30 years ago. No, over none of your business years ago, right? I look at my own cleaning company over 30 years ago when I was first starting out. And I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the laws. I was just doing the best I can. I had no idea how to make people employees or how to withhold payroll taxes or what to do. So the easy thing back then was to make them all 1099, which is what I did. But when I discovered I was in violation and I had this big target on my back, I was scared to death to keep up that risk. And so I did convert to W-2 employee status because I was in violation. But why did I stay so long? Why did they continue for so long having 1099 workers? Well, like me, most cleaning business owners are just afraid. They're afraid to make them employees. They're afraid they won't know how to do it. They don't know how to pay people as W-2 employees, right? They don't know how to withhold the taxes and where to submit. And I will say, don't be afraid in business, right? Fear is one of the biggest things that holds us back from getting to the next level, fear. And what I shared on the Pipe Hire group is the fear we have is almost always worse than the reality. The fear is almost always worse than the reality. So the changes that you're fearful about making, when you do make them, you're like, oh, that was easy. Why did I wait so long? Or, oh, that was easy. Why did I fret so much? When people join CBF, they're so worried that they're going to have to make all these dramatic changes. They're going to have to burn their business to the ground and start over. They're going to have to run off employees and run off customers. It's like, no, nothing could be further from the truth. When people join CBF, we just show them a better way to grow and scale their business so they can make higher profits, make more money, and live better. So they can finally fill their company with A players instead of C players. When people join CBF, we show them an easier way to scale and grow their business so the owner doesn't have to work more, longer hours, and still not make anything. And so usually the fear is worse than the reality. So even transitioning from 1099 to W-2 isn't as hard as you think. There are services nowadays that I didn't even have access to back in the day because we weren't really using the internet back then. There was no such thing as apps, and even QuickBooks hadn't started yet. It started out as Quicken, which kind of came from Peachtree, and all that wasn't available back then. It was a piece of paper, a pencil, and a calculator, and a little sheet from the IRS. But nowadays, you guys, we have Gusto, we have QuickBooks Online for payroll, and then you also have a host of other services that will do your payroll. So don't be afraid to legitimize your business so that you can get that target off your back and you can grow to the next level. And so most people are just fearful. A lot of people are afraid of the cost. It's like, oh, well, what's it going to cost me? It's going to cost me a fortune to pay payroll taxes and workers' comp. Well, basically, and of course, this is just kind of a rule of thumb, but the average company will pay about 21% for every $100 in wages in payroll taxes and workers' comp. 21%. So that means every $100 in wages, you'll probably cost you another $21 in payroll taxes and workers' comp. It's not horrible. Now, obviously, if you're in California, you're going to pay more, but not so much more that you can't succeed and make a profit. And in some of the other states where workers' comp is super high, sure, it's going to be a little bit above 21%. And for some of you where you're in a state where workers' comp rates are extremely low, you'll actually fall below that 21%. But that's a good benchmark. That's going to cost you about 21% for every $100 in wages. Well, think about that. That's usually only 9, 10, or 11% of the overall fees. If you just charge more, you'll cover your costs. So don't be afraid of the costs of converting a 1099 miscellaneous subcontractor to a W-2 employee. So I kind of started out by saying the IRS looks at 3 things to determine whether or not the person working for you is actually a true 1099 or a W-2 employee. Behavior, financial, and the type of a relationship. So let's talk a little bit about the behavior that the IRS looks like with this person who is doing all the cleaning for your company. And here's what they're looking for. Does the company control or have the right to control what the worker does and how the worker does their job? And I'm going to say, no matter how you slice it, no matter how you try to get around it, if you have people cleaning houses for you, in all likelihood, you are controlling how the work is done and what the worker does. In all likelihood, you're telling them you need to be at this house between 8 and 8:30, or you need to be at that house by noon, or this is a 3-hour house and I expect you to stay 3 hours, right? We are in control of the work of the worker. Another thing that they categorize under that behavior with the person that works for you is the type of instructions given to the person who cleans for you. So when and where and how it's done and who they can bring with them. I can almost guarantee you none of them would allow one of your workers to just bring anybody they want to come help them, right? You're like, no, they have to be screened and vetted by me. I'm going to run a criminal background check by them. You can't bring anybody into the house you please. If they were truly independent contractors, they own their own business. They have their own EIN and they can bring whoever they want to help them on the job. Think about a contractor who, you know, is doing handyman work for you, right? He might have an assistant with him. He's going to show up at the time he tells you. You're not going to tell him when the handyman will come and install a ceiling fan, right? That's a true independent contractor, right? Think about a bookkeeper. Here's another example of a true independent contractor. A bookkeeper who is an independent contractor who does your books, right? And you don't pay their payroll taxes because they're a 1099 contractor. A bookkeeper is going to do the books in their time. They might do them at 10 o'clock at night. They might do them at 8 o'clock in the morning. They might do them on a Saturday. They might do them on a Friday, right? They might eat your green eggs and hams on a bus or on a plane, right? And so a true independent contractor controls their schedule. Whereas with an employee, you tell them this house has to be done on Monday and it needs to be done, you know, in 4 hours, and you need to arrive between 8 and 8:30, and you're going to use my vacuum and you're going to use my cleaning product, not your nasty old Fabuloso you got at the dollar store. In all likelihood, you're controlling the work and you are giving very specific instructions. And then training is another big one. If you train them, they're employees. It doesn't matter if you follow everything else. If you train them, they're employees, according to the IRS. Most of us are using the speed cleaning training, employee training system. And we require that they wear the apron, especially if they work in teams. They're going to slow people down and cost you money. You're telling them what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. So in my company, we use the speed cleaning method, and they have to wear the apron and they have to use the tools and they have to feather dust certain things and hand wipe other things. We control exactly what they do. If you are providing training, they are employees, according to the IRS. Here's another big one that is an indication that they are employees, according to the IRS, and not 1099. Do they have their own cleaning business? And you're like, no. Well, then they're employees, right? If they're a true independent contractor, they have their own cleaning business. They have their own federal identification number. They are probably and should be carrying their own general liability insurance. And most of you aren't requiring that. In fact, the only customer they have is you. They're your employee. The only cleaning they do is with your company. They're your employee. So think of it this way. I have an independent contractor that does my books for my consulting business. She has her own company name. They're called Ironwood Bookkeeping. She has her own federal identification number, and she has her own set of clients. She's an independent contractor. She doesn't work 40 hours a week doing only my books and has no other clients and no company. She's a true independent contractor. But if that bookkeeper did all of my books exclusively and worked for me exclusively, and she worked 40 hours a week for me exclusively, and she didn't have a company name, she didn't have an EIN, she didn't have other customers, the IRS would say she is not an independent contractor. She's your employee, right? So do you see what the IRS is looking for? They want their money, and they're going to get it, right? Here's the other one, and this is kind of the deal closer right here, in that, do they work exclusively for you, right? So are you giving them all the work that they do in this space? Are they working Monday through Friday for you? And here's the other thing. So I forgot this one. This is really probably the most important one. Because you're a cleaning company, then the work that you do, your primary work is cleaning homes. And so the IRS says, well, if that's your primary work, then the people who clean homes are employees, period. And so, for example, I have independent contractors who work for me who do my bookkeeping or who come in and do repairs at my office, right? Um, Maybe build out an office if I need a new office inside of the warehouse built out, right? Those are independent contractors. And my business isn't bookkeeping. My business isn't, building, remodeling, right? So if I hire somebody to come in and remodel my office, I've hired an independent contractor because that's not the business I'm in. I'm not in the remodeling business. Same thing with my bookkeeper. I'm not in the bookkeeping business. So when I hire her, she is to support my primary business. My primary business is cleaning homes, not bookkeeping. And so that's why the IRS sees her as a bookkeeper. So when we hire house cleaners, our primary business is cleaning houses. The IRS is very clear. Well, if your primary business is cleaning houses, then the people you hire to go clean houses are employees. And so this is that dilemma where so many cleaning companies are using independent contractors, but they're misclassified. Now, I get it. It's very hard if you're operating your business in California and you're just barely surviving because of the high workers' comp and all the high taxes and all the things that cause you to want to use independent contractors. I get it. And the rules and the regulations around how much time you have to pay them to be off and all this baloney. But there is a right way and a wrong way to do business, and you can operate legally and profitably in every state in the United States, every single one of them. Now, there are nuances and there are pitfalls and there are struggles that you have from different states and different laws and different rules, but you can operate legally and ethically and within compliance so that you're not worried that you're going to be shut down because of back taxes and fines if you're ever found out to be in violation of the law. So some of you are like, well, how do I get this help? How do I fix my business? I've been wanting to straighten things out, but I've been terrified and I don't know where to start. Well, first of all, CBF, Cleaning Business Fundamentals, is the #1 residential cleaning business training program in the world to show you how to be legally compliant, to show you how to move from independent contractor status to W-2 employees safely and gradually and strategically and delicately without damaging your business, without having to start over, or without running off customers and employees. So CBF, that's just one of the things we help people do is transition into the legal compliance because you have to get the target off your back before you grow big, right? You can stay small and fly under the radar. No one's going to notice and probably no one's going to report you. But the minute you try to grow a big business and you've got dozens of employees and you're bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars and even millions to millions of dollars, then you have a big target on your back. If you're operating below the radar, under the radar, operating with cash under the table, operating with in violation of the IRS rules and the Labor Bureau, eventually you'll be investigated and you'll lose in the audit and you'll lose big. You have too much to lose if you want to grow a big business. So at Cleaning Business Fundamentals, we can help you be compliant with your business because the main goal is to help you to be able to sleep at night, help you to be able to grow a big business that works, to help you grow a profitable business that helps you live better and make more money and enjoy life. And so that's the whole point of Cleaning Business Fundamentals. If you want to learn more about CBF, as we call it, how to become 100% mop free, put down the mop and never clean again, and build an empire and grow a team that loves you and loves what they do. If you want to learn how to do that, then go learn more at cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com. Cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com. I wish I could talk. So go learn more at cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com. And that's where you can learn about our program, learn from how to apply for a strategy session to talk further about your business and if we're a good fit for each other, what the cost is, what the structure is, what the offer is. We have a killer scholarship going on right now. And yes, the program is several $1,000s. So it's not another, $100 ebook that's going to make you millions of dollars in your sleep. Just save your money. It's not waste your time. It's not worth your time or your money. But you'll find out how people like Libby, I see Libby DeLucian on here, one of our certified CBF coaches. Libby is living better. She says, I love living better and making more money. This is so true. Libby is the perfect example. She had just had a baby when she found CBF. And she said, Debbie, I do not want to go back out and clean. I don't want to miss this little one's life. I don't want to be working all the time. And now I see her on vacation half the time. I'm having Libby envy right now. She's always doing something fun. And she's one of our certified coaches. She joined CBF. She fixed her business. She grew it well past $1 million. And she created so much time and money freedom. She started another business. And we brag about her and Paul all the time because she is the owner of Woot Recruit. And so, guys, I'm telling you, if you want to change your life, you've got to join CBF. And no, it's not going to be cheaper or more discounted if you wait and join at CBF Live. It's not. I guarantee you. We only go up on our prices. We never go down. Never. So let's see. Krista says, I switched and it was easy. It wasn't that hard, was it? I switched and it was easy. Krista joined CBF as well. And she said, I had my CPA do it and she walked me right through it. It's really not that hard. And it takes the target off your back so you can grow big. Your competition, if you start growing big and you're doing things under the table, your competition will find a way to report you, or some disgruntled employee will. What else here? I see Terry is in the house, and Terry says the program is awesome. Terry, that makes me feel so good because Terry is also an advanced business owner with other successful business ventures, and residential cleaning is just one of his verticals. And I'm so honored that he joined the CBF community just in the last, I don't know, maybe the last month. And it's just so great to have Terry on board. And of course, hopefully, Terry, I hope you're coming to CBF Live in April, but you guys are going to want to meet him because he has other successful verticals. And, some of you have spouses and they may be doing the same thing Terry is doing. You're definitely going to want to meet him and pick his brain. You're also at CBF Live. So let me go back to CBF Live. Let me get out of my notes here and go back to it. Also, so make sure you go to cbflive.com, lucky 175 to take $175 off. Guys, go do it tonight. I'm going to check the registration app on my phone tonight and see if that number goes up. We're trying to get to 400. We're almost there. We're at about 365 attendees. And at the last minute, people start registering like crazy the last 2 weeks. And last year, we had to lock people out. Now, as it got closer to the end, there were people that couldn't come because of the Delta variant. But the last 2 years, we had to cut off registration and people were trying to get in at the last minute. So go register now. But one of the most exciting parts of CBF Live, besides the great speakers and the great energy and the really deep dive training and teaching, is our Mop-Free Millionaire Green Jacket presentation. Do you guys realize we have 13 people this year that hit the $1 million mark? That is like unheard of in our industry. 13 people. We already have probably a good, 18 or 20 that have their green jackets from years past that hit the $1 million mark just because they joined CBF. I mean, we're talking people that when they joined CBF, they were still doing the cleaning. They had like 20 clients, and some had a few more and some had even less. But these are people who hit the $1 million mark since joining CBF, and most of them hit the $1 million mark in 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years, right? The right information changes everything. If you don't have the right information, you can spin your wheels year after year after year after year after year. And it's so frustrating when you know you're sitting on a gold mine. So guys, come to CBF Live and participate in the green jacket presentation. Watch all these people get their Mop-Free Millionaire green jacket and stand on that stage and get their picture taken, and all of us will celebrate with them. And then you, sitting in the audience, you can declare that week in Dallas, Texas, April 7th, 8th, and 9th, that you're going to be on my stage in 2023. receiving your Mop-Free Millionaire Green Jacket, or in 2024 or in 2025, whatever is appropriate for the size business you are today and the size business you believe you should be and will be when you learn the strategies, the systems, and the structures that are making cleaning business owners successful all over the country. So cleaning business, cbflive.com. Now, obviously at the CBF Live event, that is not a training event to teach you CBF. Right? That is not what that is. Shoot, that's a year-long mentorship program. I can't teach that in 3 days. But it is 3 full days of training around how to 10x your team. One of the greatest challenges that cleaning business owners are facing today. And you're going to find out how other cleaning business owners, like CBF members, are growing during this difficult time, not shrinking like so many others are. So cbflive.com, use coupon code Lucky175 and save $175. So right now, I want to hear from you guys. Right now, it's your turn. If you are already registered, I want you to type in #I'm going right now if you're already registered. So I see Robin Clark is here. She's talking about fixing the foundations. Who else is here? Who was that? Oh, that was Libby. Let's see. Oh, and Terry said the program is awesome. No target equals relief. Not sure what that one is about. I missed that comment. I probably missed a comment further up. But if you're going, right now's the time. #I'm going. So let's see here. Stephanie is going. #I'm going. Made to order in Florida. Hey there. Good to see you, dear. Who else is going? #I'm going. Type that in right now so I can celebrate with you. And then if you're not already registered, but you're planning on it, type in #planning. #planning. And then I'll know that you just haven't registered yet, but you're about to do that. Please don't delay registering because you're not going to save $175. You guys are going to pay full price if you jump in at the last minute. Somebody else said, #I'm going. Let's see here. Beth is going. Oh, I can't wait to see Beth. Beth takes the best pictures on the planet. So Beth is our official photographer at the event. She's also a Cleaning Business Owners, and we love her dearly. She's just one of the sweetest, nicest people you'll ever meet. And who else is going? #I'm going, people. Vanessa. Oh, I can't wait to see you, Vanessa. I'm so excited you're going. Who else is going? And let's see here. And if you're planning on it, but you're not registered yet, just type in #planning and I'll give you a pass for now. So anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off because honestly, I have a little glass of wine here that I need to finish up, and I'm going to go watch Beachfront Properties on the HGT channel, the old reruns. I love that show, Beachfront Properties. It's so fun to watch. Grab my glass of wine, get my PJs on, curl up on the couch with my husband who's over there waiting for me to shut up and get off this Facebook Live here. And so I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something new around 1099 versus W-2 employees. I hope this was helpful. I hope you will take advantage of the Lucky 175 and take $175 off the registration. Stephanie says good night. Robin says good night. And to each and every one of you, I say good night. Stay lucky. Meet me in Dallas, April 7th, 8th, and 9th, cbflive.com. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for joining me tonight.